new study reveals gay bars are on the decline in America. As the LGBTQ plus community gains acceptance in much of the country and apps become a new way of meeting people, bars are becoming less and less relevant for many people. A new study by sociology professor Greggor Mattson of Oberlin College tracks just how many gay bars we've lost. The study showed that the number of gay bars in the U.S. declined by 15% between 2019 and the spring of 2021. And while that was during the peak of COVID lockdowns, the numbers are similar to the rates of closures in previous years. Historic business data shows that between 2007 and 2019, more than 36% of all gay bars in the U.S. closed. While Mattson feels that broadening acceptance of the LGBTQ plus is a good thing, and are part of these numbers, he cautions, quote, in most of parts of the country, gay bars are the only public LGBTQ place. In other words, they're the only place where queer people can reliably encounter other queer people in public, end quote.
Well, one thing that I'm curious is how does this compare to all bars in terms of closures? Have all bars been reduced in the last 7-8 years? But, the idea that gay bars are not as in demand, obviously the apps have made it different for people to meet. You talk to people and, I don't hear anybody saying they're going out to the bar. No, they're going online and they're meeting people. Mm-hmm. And I just think that it's also a matter of supply and demand. I think that if there was a demand for bars, we would probably have more.
I'm curious and challenging the observation though, Steve. What is your guess, your gut guess of the straight counterparts of bars? Do you think there's been a 36% decline in bars?
Probably not.
Yeah. See, my gut tells me this is a gay phenomenon.
Well, but what do these other bars, what are the purpose of those bars? Are for people to just go out and have fun, or are they to go out and meet people?
Well, I think people are going to bars to just have fun. And in South Beach, we have actually now, we don't have like a ton, but we have more bars now than we did just a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Yes, so in certain areas that are, well, certainly Wilton is a gay enclave. South Beach is not a gay enclave like it used to be, but we do have more gay bars, and they are packed.
But they're packed with people there to have fun, not necessarily to pick up.
They're not going to pick up. I mean,
Wait, is there a difference between picking up and having fun?
I think you can have fun picking people up, but I think that people today who go to the bars, they're going there.
It's a perk if you pick somebody up.
And I also feel as though being able to go to the bars, because we were in the pandemic and going through all of those situations, it's like people want to go out. They want to be able to see people. They want to engage. They want to have fun. So it's like to not have these clubs around, it's kind of like detrimental to us. It's like, where are we to go?
And you've got Jen's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just wondering what areas, because it's a survey of what areas. I mean, how,
of the whole nation.
I know, but I know it's the whole nation. I mean, I know that, but I mean, they're not clearly differentiating between certain areas like Wilton Manor, for example, and other, gay, what's it, gay town? What's it called in Chicago? I forget.
Boys Town.
Boys Town, thank you. They're not comparing it to other smaller, maybe other more rural areas where there might be gay bars.
But also Gen Z and millennials are coming of age where, especially in larger cities, they've just sort of had gay people around them, you know what I mean? And so they move into these up and coming neighborhoods with, that have led the way. And so now it's sort of just kind of like everyone's together. So leave it to the gays to put the homo in homogenous.
Homogenous. Waiting to say that.
He was waiting. The author of the study at Oberlin College, I think, hits on one of the things, that one of the principal reasons is Gen Zers have no care walking into any bar what happens when four young Gen Z gay boys walk into a bar? They just walk into the bar. That's it. Right. End of joke. It's not like much of our experience that the gay bar was a protection for us. They don't need that anymore. Mm-hmm. It is not the way that you found the guy to hook up with in a casual sexual encounter. The giant rock killer of gay bars in America is called Grindr.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And Scruff. And that's how people are hooking up, and you don't go into a bar predominantly to hook up. And those that are still doing it are much older.
Absolutely.
And as a result, it's just like retirement communities. Things change because people are getting older, and that's what's going on. However, this study is big news. Big news, because this is a yellow flashing light to maybe a red flashing light. That America is changing, the American gay community is changing, and those that are in the business of delivering to the American gay community should be paying attention to this, because the traditional ways that we market, that we communicate, that we socialize, they are changing. And if we broadly, whatever that business is, whatever the media is, whatever the newspaper is, whatever is the whatever, they better be paying attention to this, because change is afoot.
Right. And Al, many of the stories that we're talking about tonight will reflect that. Many of them.
And before we move on, we had an experience like that on Saturday when we were at brunch at the drag show. It wasn't particularly well populated, but there was this group of clearly straight people who had no idea there was going to be for them, I thought they thought it was a flash drag mob. But by the end of the show, they were coming up and posing with all the girls. I mean, like, they got into it, and it made me feel really good. But I think that's a symbol of where we're heading to.
Right. And John, you remember 30 years ago in Florida, people who showed up during Gay Day at Disney, they were shocked, and they wouldn't go in. They didn't know what to expect. And today, people are much more comfortable.
Yeah. All right, John, you're going to push us on, and we're going to look at some culture issues.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.